During one of the interviews wherein I was present, a management trainee was asked. He was from one of the reputed business schools, and he was asked, like, what have you learned over this course of your curriculum about management? And the places you have worked with as a business management consultant, what have you learned so far? His answer was very prompt and something that I remember till today. He mentioned that I learned to foresee and create the future businesses. And when we asked him to elaborate as to how he plans to do that, he simply mentions that it is by observing the past business trends and implementing what the observation is in the present that he plans to create the future business plans. But obviously, during this interview, he went through very successfully, and he was absorbed in the organization as a business development manager. So he was absolutely right strategically. When you are into an organization, when you are into management, it is never that a future can be created without understanding, analyzing, and going through the mistakes of the past. The mistakes of the past improved into the actions of present can create a better future. So, when you are that manager, when you are that leader, when you are heading that organization, what are the three basic main points that you have to concentrate on? The first point to concentrate on aspect of the business, on aspect of the expansion, on aspect of the organizational growth is studying the past. I remember in one of the interviews, Bill Gates was asked, what you would consider your best success till now? And Bill Gates immediately responded, it is yet to come. Now think about this person who introduced the whole world to the world of the windows and the mouse click. He himself says that the best success is yet to come. So when you are that leader, when you are that organizational head, you need to understand that what you are learning is already the past. What you are going to implement is the present. And the outcome from observing the past and implementing that observation in present is the only way to create a better future. So studying the past reveals the mistakes that have been done, the mistakes or the deviations which occurred in the process, and you get a chance to learn the scope of operation within which to avoid those kind of deviations. Without studying those, there is 100% chance that the same deviation, same challenges would be repeated again in the present. And obviously, when you are doing the same thing repeatedly, the result cannot be different. So, studying the past means observing the deviations, the challenges, and how those were resolved. So how do you understand or study the past? It is simple. It is by talking to the people, the seniors who were already into those process or those operations in the past days. If not, study the documents, study the manuals, study the books. That will give you the insight as to the kind of issues, deviations and challenges as we are faced by the organization at various levels, whether man management, resource planning, or the production as such. And accordingly, you can plan your present for implementing the observation which is the improved one. When you are implementing the improved version of what you have learned from the past, there is much chance that you reduce the scope for such similar deviations. What is the second point? The second point comes is study the demand. When you are in the business, studying the demand of the present generation, what drives them, what is in requirement, what are the things which are being required by the people to make their life easy in terms of time management, in terms of contact management, in terms of resource management. When you study those demands, you are much better in terms of implementing better policies, better production, and better man management in the present. When you are understanding the demand, you are understanding the psychology of the present generation. By studying the past, the differences, the deviation, and the challenges, you already know what were demotivating your customers, what were not so good about your clients, and what was not working in terms of man management and production. So, when you are studying the demand in the present, you are actually understanding all the scope which actually made the process fail in the past, and in a way ensuring your success in the present. Now, when you have observed, studied the past, and have learned, and whatever you have learned, you have implemented in the present, what is the next step? The next step, or the vital step, is to go and create the future. You already know what went wrong in the past, you already know what needs to be done in the present, and what is left with you is the future. Let's say you are into garment industry, and what if you understand what designs went wrong, what designs went right, what was the demand in the 80s, in the 90s, and when you study, you can create a client persona, as we call the target audience. When you can create the target audience mindset, you can understand what went good in that period, what colors were selected, what kind of designs were preferred, what kind of fabrics were preferred, and accordingly you can create the trend for the college goers in the future. The kind of casuals, the kind of dresses that would be looked upon by the professionals, or by the semi-casuals, or by the casual wearers, you can make a trend analysis. And when you make the right choices in the present, you not only create a open market for your product, you also create a scope for expansion of your organization. Now, when you are that manager, when you are that head of the organization, when you keep these 3 points, you create opportunities. You keep moving forward. You create opportunities for growth, not only in terms of organizational expansion, but also in terms of resource expansion also, in terms of market expansion also. So, when you are taking this decision, please understand that studying the past, implementing the improved ones in the present, is the only way towards creating a successful future. So with that note today, guys, I wrap up the morning vibe session from Career Counseling Online today. Wishing you all the best, the good health, take care, stay safe, stay home, and stay focused. And as I always mention, learn, contribute, and evolve.